All right, Virgo. This is Virgo's reading for post-Lionsgate for pretty much now. It's the 12th right now as I'm recording this. So pretty much now through up to the middle of September, okay? So not technically an August reading, but it's just easier to name them that, right? So Virgo, this is what we're doing this month is I'm taking this deck and pulling an overall energy card, an overall energy for your next 4 or 5-ish weeks, okay? And then we'll do the story grid. I started doing that a little bit differently. I'm going to start with the center card and then kind of extend out. I'm trying to find, kind of my unique spread. So we'll see how that goes. I'm trying lots of different ways to see what maybe my fave is, but we're just experimenting today, Virgo. So, all right. So I'm asking for an overall energy card for Virgo, please, for August 2021, post-Lionsgate, up until almost the solstice, or the equinox, right? The fall equinox. The autumnal equinox, which is going to be powerful. So this next, 4 or 5 weeks, we're still being pushed, you guys. We're still being pushed. I get a visual always of, my guides always show me this of, it's a screen door, right? If you're American from a place that has actual seasons, you know what a screen door is. I get this visual of us being literally shoved through a screen door, and we're coming out the other side in millions of little pieces, and they just fall to the front step, and we're picking up what we still need and leaving behind what we don't, and putting ourselves back together. Basically, it's kind of like being on Star Trek and being transported, and the transporter not working quite right. It's like every time we get transported, it leaves behind all the stuff we don't need. That'd be nice, huh? I wish they could just invent a machine. Like, I'll just get in it and I'll come out the other side without all this crap, right? Glowing and, with a tiny waist, whatever we want. So, okay. All right, Virgo. You're the last earth sign. So Taurus and Cap had very similar messages in a way, not exactly the same, but they had a lot of the same stuff. Very grounded to Gaia right now. All of it. Well, all the signs really, but Earth, it's almost like Earth is kind of, the Earth signs are being held really tight because there's a lot of growth going on. So let's see what your overall energy card is. Virgo, in your highest good. Ooh. So you got mythic reality. I think worlds are colliding for you right now, okay? If that makes sense. Like, I feel like a lot of what is going on, a lot of awareness that you're having about what's going on in the world is kind of testing your boundaries as far as what you believed in before and what you're starting to see. Like, I feel like you're starting to see magic. You're starting to see magical things. You're starting to have things happen to you in your life that, we could say coincidence, we can say synchronicity, but some of it is like, what? Like, how did that happen? And so you're starting to see kind of your boundaries expand, and you might be a little nervous about it, but it's all for a reason, right? Plus, I love this rainbow that you got, because rainbows, if we go for the biblical definition, which is a beautiful, I don't judge the whole Bible. There's a lot of beautiful stuff in there. And the rainbow means a promise, right? The universe has made us a promise that everything's going to be okay, that we have nothing to fear. So this is what's going on with you, is you have nothing to fear. And I know the future right now seems like something to be afraid of. And I'm telling you, there is nothing to fear. The universe has made a promise that we are heading into a new earth, a new reality, a 5D reality that is going to work for everyone, not just some people. It's going to work for everyone. And, you know, it makes me think of if you've ever watched Handmaid's Tale, when I forget what they call their slave lords, right? The masters. But he says to her, you know, we want a better world, but sometimes a better world means a worse world for some. And I immediately was like, well, then there's the lesson, right? Like if a better world means a worse world for some, then that's not a better world and you're doing it wrong, right? So, but this is a better world for everybody that we're coming into, I promise. So now I'm going to, as I'm already shuffling, we're going to start the grid with this beautiful deck. And I'm going to pull, you know, I tried something weird with Taurus and I pulled the center card first. And I don't know how well it worked. I'm going to go ahead and do what I've been doing, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the whole grid before I start talking about it. I think that'll be better. Then I can just go through the story and it'll already all be there. So I'm still feeling my way, Virgo. You beautiful Virgos. My 20-year-old is a Virgo sun. Beautiful, beautiful young man. Just beautiful. Very balanced, feminine and masculine. I just adore every inch of him. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so let's get the first 6 cards of the grid. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to get the first row and the third row and then come in with that Magdalene deck and do the middle row. That's what they're telling me to do. Okay, why not? That's what I just saw a picture of it in my head. So let's do it. So we're going to get I'm just asking for the first and third rows for Virgo in Virgo's highest good. Oh my God, you guys. Oh, you guys. So we got lots of repeats from other signs as well, which it makes sense. We're all on the same, we're all going to the party. We're all going to the same party. We're just taking different, slightly different routes, slightly different means of transportation sometimes, right? Some of us are taking the long way around. Some of us get stopped by a train. Give me the 3 middle cards, please, for Virgo in their highest good. Yeah. Beautimus. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay. I shuffled really good. Okay. That's crazy. So we have our grid. I'm going to flip some of these over. I don't read reverse. The message comes out regardless. I like to be able to see the picture. Okay, this is pretty cool. Do you want to see your center card? Heart and soul. Heart and soul. Everything in the next 4 to 5 weeks is going to be about you expanding your heart, making more room for your soul. Okay, that will clarify that a lot. The first card down in this bottom left corner, which is where I like to start the story, you got a master number 11, Ragnarok, which is like apocalypse, right? But as we know, apocalypse just means drastic change, huge shift in our reality, okay? Destruction, ending, final moment. I love how they use those gloom and doom words, but in order for us to build a new world, we have to take down the old, right? And so, let me just look at this for a minute. You got a very fiery card. Very fiery. I mean, look at her. Whew. She is burning shit down, okay? Okay, I do feel like it kind of goes along with this overall energy card, right? So what I'm seeing is, because I try to look, and then if I don't see anything clear, I start to ask questions, right? I start to ask, I'm asking your guides in my head, like, is this, is this that? And, notice, first of all, if we take it literally, there's a forest burning behind her. And how many actual fires are going on around the world right now? In America, in Canada. I mean, it just is, I don't know. There are other places burning too. I don't know offhand right now. I just know that we're in severe southeast Colorado. We are getting smoke from, I think there's maybe some fires in northern Colorado, but apparently we're getting smoke from Arizona fires, and the air quality has been so bad that we can't go outside most days for the last few weeks. So not for very long anyway. And so we've been kind of holed up inside running 8 diffusers and just, trying to clean the air, keep the air clean. I have a lot of salt lamps. Those clean the air. If you didn't know that, go buy some salt lamps, order them on Amazon, and put one in every large room. Put a little one in every bedroom. The thing is you can use it as a nightlight, but the thing is it works best if you leave them on 24/7. The bulbs actually even last longer when you do that. My kids don't like them in their bedrooms. They're always turning them off at night and forgetting to turn them back on in the morning. And so I'm always walking around turning salt lamps on all the time. But for sure, put one in your main living areas where no one is going to be bothered by them when they're sleeping. That way they can stay on 24/7. And if you can put some even near computers, if nobody sleeps in that room, right? And I always tell my kids, put it behind your computer or something, so you just see kind of a glow versus a bright light. But they're stinkers, right? So anyway, that is just my little tip for because the fires were coming through. But what I'm feeling is more of a kind of nervousness or anxiety around the state of the world right now. And like I said, it's kind of going along with this mythic reality, this huge shift. Remember, the promise is that we're going to be fine, that we are always evolving and ascending. We're not, I will tell you right now, as an intuitive, as a seer, as, I can tune into timelines. I can tune in to where we're going. Let me take a drink. And there was a timeline for, forever. We've been kind of tethered to this timeline, possible timeline, where we fall back into darkness. And that timeline is gone. It is absolutely gone. It is nowhere to be seen. There is a third. So there are 3 still. The third one on the far right, on the right, I should say, is fading really fast because that one contains an incredibly slow disclosure and ascension process, really slow. Too many people are waking up right now. Okay. So we've got these 2 left, center and left. And they're very similar. The left side, as I was telling Taurus, the left side actually contains one more kind of big event that they try to keep us divided. They try to dupe us, where they try to convince us that we have to let them take care of us. And you know who I mean by them, right? So, but then there will be a mass awakening. I feel like, the brightest right now is straight ahead, where we're all waking up now. We don't need another big event. We're getting it, right? We're becoming aware. And so, I don't know if just me, my intuition can assuage, what is that word? Can diminish your fears. But just know that Ragnarok, it makes me think of, like the fires, in order to rejuvenate a forest, Gaia will bring it. Of course, people cause it too, but Gaia will allow forests to burn down in order to replenish the soil and create new life. Okay. Like they say, a forest never looks more beautiful than about a decade after a devastating fire. It is complete rebirth. Okay. And so, yes, it may seem devastating what's going on. We are tearing down the old, and it is necessary. So just remember that it is and I don't even want to say, I almost said necessary evil. That's not even it. It is getting rid of the crap that is not good for us anymore. That doesn't mean it doesn't hurt a little bit, right? Because we're so used to it, and we think, oh, well, what will it look like? What will the world look like without this control mechanism, right? But that's what's burning. That's what's burning behind her, is this control mechanism that they've used on us for seriously, it's actually been like thousands of years, if you want to know the truth, okay? So anyway, this card is coming through with the angel number 11, the master number 11, to let you know that this is you. You are actually part of this process. You are a cog in the mechanism of that is facilitating this destruction, because we need destruction of the old before we can create the new, okay? And you're helping do that, and that's super important, okay? So you're part of it. Don't be afraid of being a part of it, and don't be afraid of what's happening, because it's all necessary. It's all in our highest good. And so I feel like this is kind of where you are right now, right? This is the beginning of our time frame, the next 4 to 5 weeks. Guess what's next? What? So let me see, Virgo. This is coming through as, first of all, this bottom row is all very red. Look at all the red. This is your bottom row. Super duper red. Lots of root and sacral healing going on. Okay, so, and when you engage in, okay, so that's what's going on. So the fear of this, like, I feel like a lot of you are wanting better relationships, are wanting a deeper relationship, are wanting a relationship in general. And the fear, you know, this fear that is kind of clouding your clarity right now is also keeping you from deepening an existing relationship or allowing a new relationship to come in. Okay. So if you can just try to trust, you know, whatever you see the source as, right, or whatever you call it, you know, God, cosmos, universe, source, the all that is, right, creator, whatever you call that energy that is everything and everyone, right? You know, just know that energy has always, it has always been the plan for us to ascend and evolve and get into better and better and better realities. Okay. Less division, right? Less, just negative stuff. Like you know, I could list a bunch of stuff, less crime, less mental illness, less, illness in general. Okay. You know, it's just going to be it's going to be more joyful, more abundant, more vibrant health. Okay. Is what's coming. And that has been the promise from the beginning. And we have, you know, in a way we have gotten that, but you can only go so far. Like, we've manufactured health too long, masking actual bad health, right? Like, oh, but we're living so much longer. Yeah, but we're so unhealthy, and people are living for decades on so much medication, and they're on oxygen, and they take it with them to the grocery store. Oh, great, you lived to be 98, but you were miserable, right? So we're pretending that we're you know, living longer, healthier lives when we're not really, because you can only go so far manufacturing health. It has to be natural, organic health. So we are going back to that, okay? But all this fear of, there's a lot of change going on, Virgo. I get it. Everything is changing right now. Everything. This is the time for everything to shift. Everything is burning. Okay? Everything that we've come to know and that we've felt safe within, all the constructs, all the belief systems, our foundation, it's burning. Okay? And it's going. And this is a good thing, because we're going to create a much, much better world. And so, but that fear, and again, I don't know if me just saying it is going to help, but I do feel like this is what's coming. This is where you are right now. Okay. It is unfortunately kind of keeping you from allowing a true divine union to happen. Not necessarily, I'm not talking about twin flame or even divine counterpart, but just a really positive soul feeding relationship. I'm not even talking about lifelong, right? Just a really deep relationship, deeper than you've ever had. Could be lifelong for some of you, waiting in the wings to come in, and your fear is keeping it at bay. Okay. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. What I'm saying is, when you are able to shed this fear, this is going to come in really fast. Okay. It's just going to appear, and you're going to be like, and it's going to be some of that magic we were just talking about, right? Like, holy shit, how did that happen? And so you are doing it. I don't want you to think, like I've been saying to most of the signs for this month, it's like, you don't have to take notes and like start to plan a strategy, you know, to manage all these energies. Just listen to the sound of my voice. Just take in the information and know that you have everything you need. And so being aware, having kind of a heads up of what's coming, can a lot of times help us respond in situations versus knee-jerk react. And so that's what I'm hoping to give you here, okay, is just a little heads up of what's coming so that you're not derailed by it, so that you're not knocked on your ass by it. But you don't necessarily have to, you could totally forget all of this once I'm done talking. You could forget it all and you're still it's going to be in here, okay, I promise. And you're still going to be more prepared, I promise you, okay? So, but this is waiting. It's waiting until you're ready. So don't beat yourself up. You're not doing anything wrong. Don't try to okay, I'm just going to heal this fear tonight because I'm so lonely and I just want a partner. It doesn't work that way, okay? It's a many-layered thing, fear. We're all healing the collective layers of it, and those are massive, okay? But we're all doing it. We're all holding hands and doing it. Everybody's holding a chunk of it. And so just know that it's going to happen exactly when it is supposed to happen, okay? You don't want it to happen sooner because then those relationships they're not easy. First of all, they're harder than they are good, if that makes sense, right? Like they're not worth it. They're not worth trying to hold on to them because there's more challenge than there is harmony. Okay, so it's okay to not have a partner right now. I know you're lonely. This journey can be so lonely and isolating, right? I mean, I'm in a house with my 4 kids and my husband, and I have felt the most debilitating loneliness of my life at times because I am in a different place than the rest of them. Okay. And of course, I choose that, right? And so I choose to just keep moving forward and to process what I need to process and to kind of allow that loneliness and allow that isolation and just stop resisting it, because the more you resist it, the deeper it's going to get, the bigger it's going to get, the more it's going to feel like this demon in your energy. Okay. So just allow that loneliness and try to shift it to more appreciation for the solitude. Okay. Try to shift the loneliness to solitude and go, okay, well, I need some solitude. Why don't I do some things during this period that really feed my soul? Some very, maybe even sedentary things. I always get kind of upset. I get triggered when people say binge watching Netflix is not self-care. I call BS on that. It absolutely is, if that's what feeds your soul, if that's what you need. Okay. Because sometimes self-care is disconnecting and checking out for a while. Sometimes that's necessary, okay? So you're going to be healing this. You may be checking out for a little while, but I want to keep going because that's only the first 2 cards. Okay, so then we've got number 10. So again, they're very similar. Look at that. But it's number 10, love, fire, sensuality, fertility. You've got a lot of this divine counterpart. You've got a lot of this deep relationship kind of waiting in the wings for you, energy coming through. And here this even confirms, because it goes from 11 to 10, which may feel like you're going backwards as you're healing this fear. You may feel like, oh my gosh, I'm more lonely than ever. And I'm never going to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I'm never going to find a divine counterpart. I'm never going to find somebody who really gets me and who just knows how to love me the minute I meet them. And so it's going to feel like a backward step. That's called falling into the pit, and it is necessary. It is a necessary part of the process. I always say, fall into the pit, sit down there as long as you need, look at what's down there, confront what's down there. Nothing down there can hurt you. It's all of your own creation, right? It's all your little demons, and none of that can hurt you because it's yours. You are the boss. Remember that. You are the boss of your own energy. So sit in that pit for a little while and then climb out when it's time. Don't build a summer house there. Don't camp out too long, okay? And so this is just kind of confirming that you are focusing. Okay, this is interesting because it actually came through for Capricorn, is that you may be focusing too much on finding a partner and not enough on healing yourself. So a really good partner, you may have somebody come in while you're still working on healing, or before you've even healed something, whatever this is, the fear. Somebody might come in and who's interested, but it's not going to be the right time or the right person, because when you're in fear, what you're calling to you is more fear. And so you're calling to you another person who is in a lot of fear or even more fear than you are. And you don't need that right now. Okay. So what this is telling me is that you're focusing too much on the external. Oh, well, if I just had a counterpart, if I just had a partner, then I would feel better. I would feel whole. I'd be able to heal myself if I had a partner. Okay, you have to heal yourself first. I'm sorry. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be still in the healing process and that person, wouldn't come in. But you want to make sure that you are actively owning and taking responsibility for your own healing journey. Because once you get a partner to come in, or if you already have one, right, that, that brings in its own stuff, right? And if they're coming in with baggage and trauma and, and they may be your divine counterparts, but sometimes the timing just isn't right. And, then you feel responsible and you feel like you have to help them heal and they feel like they have to help you heal. And it's just too hard. Okay. So just really focus on you, really focus on healing your own fear of the future, your fear of the uncertainty of everything right now, right? Everything's falling apart. I get it. Remember, a promise was made and that promise will be kept. Okay. The all that is the creator, source, the universe, the cosmos, God is always watching, I shouldn't say watching. That sounds creepy, right? Big Brother is always watching. But, we are this energy. We are part of this energy. And we are ultimately creating a better place for us to live. And so this is just more of, you want this. I get it. You want this sensuality. You want that. Well, and fertility, that can just mean, I feel like you're putting too much stock in somebody else coming into your life that's good. Oh, well, if I just had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, then I'd be able to, really follow my heart and blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, that is flip that. Oh, well, once I'm going to follow my heart, I'm going to take that leap of faith. And whoever's on the other side, great. If no one's on the other side, great. Because you're only going to get more in tune with your own power, with your own center, and become your own best friend. Okay. So that goes into the next card, which is 41, Awen, Gift, Divine Inspiration, Awakening. So she breaks down to a 5, which is big change. You're not going to get a break this next 4 to 5 weeks, Virgo. You're going through a lot of transformation, okay? You're healing a lot of this fear. You are being asked to stop desperately searching for a partner or for a deeper relationship if you're in a partnership, because you need to really tune into your own. I mean, this says love fire. I kind of like that because I feel like you're being asked to tune into your own love fire within you. Fall in love with you. I know that's cheesy and it sucks, but you've got even more of this. You have a lot of red. That's all I'm saying, Virgo. But I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck mainly because of her dress, which is exquisite, but it's also because of her pure white skin. Like you would think, oh my goodness, like she's like Snow White, right? Almost to the point of being undead, but it's more like Snow White because she's definitely very vibrant and alive. And notice her bright red lips. You are coming into a new truth, okay, with all the things that you used to cling to falling away, burning away. You are going to be finding your voice in these new energies. You're going to be seeing things that you never imagined before. And rather than clinging to a new belief system, you're going to be able to let go of the old and go, okay, I'm okay with not knowing what I believe right now. And maybe that's okay to not believe in anything but the promise. Okay. All you have to believe in is that everything's going to be okay. That's all you have to believe. But you are going to be finding your voice. You're going to start speaking your truth. And you may start saying things that even surprise you. Okay. I know I've been through this. When I started my awakening 8 years ago, I all of a sudden started talking about these things that I was learning that were just being kind of thrown in my face inadvertently. And I was like, why is all this stuff? I don't understand. And everything that I thought I knew about the world was a lie. And when I realized that I was starting to talk like, this totally different person, and people were, not wanting to be my friend anymore, or relatives were like, not sure what was going on with me, right? Thought I was going crazy. That's going to be, and if you've already been through this, then you're hitting a new level of it. Okay. You're finding your voice on an even deeper level. There's going to be some, you've got a lot of foundational stuff being washed away, being burned away by this fire. That's what it's taking. And, yeah. And she's got really bright red lips too. I mean, the whole thing is bright red, and so does she. Look at this. This is about you finding your voice. Okay. Virgo, I feel like you're very, as the sign insinuates, right? The pure, the virgin, literally, but the pure is you're very soft, right? You're very in a good way, but you have a very soft kind of energy. You're gentle, you're compassionate, you're friendly. Everybody likes you, but you can also be a doormat. You have a hard time saying no. You have a hard time being firm. You have a hard time having boundaries. Okay. You have a hard time getting away and having time for you because everybody wants a piece of you. Once they get to know you and realize, oh, you'll do anything for me whenever I need, then you're never left alone. Right. And so you don't get enough me time, and you're ultimately not necessarily an introvert, but you need recharge time. Right. And you don't get that when other people are, when other people, and they're energy vampires without, most people who are energy vampires are not intentionally doing it. And so they don't know they're doing it, but they just know they can count on you, right? Oh, goodness gracious. So this is time for you to really start to speak up and stop being a doormat and letting people around you know that you are going to be a kind of a different person from now on, that you are going to be, because that's not quite the right way. That's not quite what I'm seeing, but that you're going to be more firm about your own energy and your own activities and your own boundaries. Like you are not a doormat anymore. Okay. So you're really going to be finding that on a whole new level, and you're going to be tuning into a more confident, I almost said outspoken, but not really. Just a more confident and kind of calm confidence, right? You're going to be more in a calm, confident energy. And this white skin too, like I was going to say about that, is it's coming through as your purity as well as your gentleness, your softness in general as a Virgo, but it's also coming through as you're finding a new level of your light within. Like, look, it's so white, it's glowing. And so when you start to stand up for yourself and speak your truth and get to that next layer and that next level of really speaking your truth, of really being out there, even, you may find yourself going kind of the other extreme for a little bit, and that's okay. Just know that if you are harsh with anyone, likely in that moment, they needed you to be. Okay. And I'm not saying don't apologize, right? If you feel like you overstepped, I'm not saying that. Absolutely apologize and, let them know that that was not what you intended, but also know that they needed to hear you say that to really hear you. Okay. Especially people who have been walking on you for a long time. They're not going to hear you when you first start speaking up. Okay. You have to be really firm. You have to be really harsh. I always tell people, some people need to hear, fuck you. Some people need to be told, fuck off. Okay. Some people need it. That's just in their energy because they won't hear anything else. Okay. It's that cognitive dissonance. But, with this purity coming too is also just this beauty, this natural beauty, and this, new bright colors. And it's like your whole reality is going to be kind of cracked open into this beautiful, it's kind of like when in that moment in Wizard of Oz, if you're old like me, in Wizard of Oz, where it goes from black and white to color. When she goes into Oz, it's suddenly in color. And before that, it's in black and white. That's what's happening with you right now, is you are going from seeing the world in a very kind of dull, dim, depressed light to seeing it in a very bright light. And all these colors are coming into your field of vision now. And then you've got your anchor card, which is you. I mean, this whole journey is about you expanding your heart space and allowing your soul to expand more in your energy. Okay. The soul kind of lives right here. It starts here, expanding here. And the more we expand our heart space, the more it can stretch out, and it feels so good. Like, let your soul stretch out. Let your soul stretch out in your energy a little more. That's what you're going to be doing the next 4 to 5 weeks, big time. So the next card too, if we go to the right of the center card, number 2, Dwira, healer, nourishment, nurture. 2. Okay, 2 comes through as you connecting to your intuition, your infinite wisdom, your wisdom in general, your ancient wisdom, anything that you came in with you. Or that you brought in with you to help with your mission. You're going to be really tuning into that. And, this healer, nourishment, nurture, that tells me too that you're really stepping into your role as some sort of a healer. And, we don't like to use the term healer. We say healing practitioner. It's a mouthful, but we want to make sure people understand that all we're really doing is facilitating healing, and we can only do what they allow, because they're really doing it. The client is really doing it. But, it's just easier to say healer. You have come here to be a healer. Okay. And just so you know what I mean by that, right? Disclaimer, whatever. And you're really going to be starting to see these gifts that you have that maybe, and you're going to look around, you're going to be like, okay, why do my friends don't seem to be talking about any of this? And I don't know what's going on, but I am like, again, it goes back to you starting to see magic in the world. You're going to start seeing magic within you too. And it's all this information that it's been kind of heavy on your head, right? Like maybe you've been having a lot of headaches. It's time to crack open that crown chakra and let that information come in, because that is all information and codes and upgrades and downloads. And that's how your gifts are going to come in. Okay. And you've been keeping it out. And that's a lot of this fear, right? That's been keeping it out. And a lot of this kind of hyper focused on, external validation for this life, right? Again, you need to fall in love with you first. And I know that's cheesy. And I know that's something people say, right? When, oh, too bad you don't have a, significant other, but maybe you don't love yourself for, I don't mean to be on a soapbox, but it's so true, unfortunately, that you really need to, if you have no significant other right now, that is a perfect time for you to work on you. Okay. It's not a perfect time for you to pine for somebody. Okay. So this is you really bringing in your gifts. And then the next card is a 13. I don't like to break that down either, because that's a very divine feminine number. So you've got a lot of, as Virgos, you have a lot, it's a very feminine sign. A lot of divine feminine energy already. Like I said, my beautiful Virgo sun has a male, he's a boy, and he, what's the word? Not resonates, but he, he is a boy. He's very happy to be a boy, but he's got a very balanced energy. Like he's definitely very in touch with his feminine side, as we used to say, right? But he's still very much a man. And so this elf queen, though, this is so beautiful too, because, okay. So this is your only queen, and it's coming in. This is going to be then kind of coming into September. Okay. So this journey, you're probably already here. You're kind of nervous about stuff that's going on in the world. You don't know what's going to happen. You're not sure how you're going to look, how your life is going to look. You don't really want it. You're kind of resisting the big change, right? Like, because not that you don't want more, but you don't want bad stuff either. And so you're so afraid of the bad stuff that you're keeping the good stuff from coming in. Okay. You have to let go. You have to let go and remember that you're taken care of. The universe is always conspiring in our favor. Okay. This is happening for humanity, not to humanity. And remember too, that you are part of this, right? Like, as a collective consciousness, we're facilitating this whole reality, and we facilitate where we go as a collective. So, isn't it a lot easier to believe that we would be facilitating a more positive reality, since we've been in this darkness for so long? And, a lot of people too, talking about the 13 and the divine feminine, a lot of people say, we've been in this divine masculine kind of energy, and now it's the time for the divine feminine. And that doesn't mean women in charge. What it means is more heart-centered living, where we've been in ego and aggression and wartime, right? All this time, that's masculine energy. Now it's time for us to remember how to live from our hearts, and that is women and men, okay? But this queen coming into September, like even like the second week maybe of September, this is all happening before the equinox. And so you've got this kind of sovereign energy coming through, after your abilities really start to show themselves, okay? Once you've really cracked open that fear and healed a lot of that fear, you're going to be able to really bring your gifts through. And you don't have to like intentionally do this. This is just going to, like I said, you could totally forget everything I say as soon as I'm done talking, but this is going to happen. This is what's happening for you, okay? And then because that is then leading you into this beautiful time of just feeling really empowered. Because as we go through August and into September, I do believe that that the state of the world is going to start to lighten up, and the sun will shine, and you're going to be able to see a positive outcome with all this chaos going on. Okay, you're going to be able to see a little more of proof of the old guard being washed away. Okay, the old reality is, well, I keep saying washed away, but clearly for you, it's burning. Okay, it's burning away. It's a very fiery energy. And so you're going to come into this place of, man, I'm not so nervous about the way of the world because I'm really focusing on me now. I'm really focusing on me now. And you are going to be sovereign in your own energy. You are the queen or king of your energy field. Okay. But the fact that it's coming into because it keeps coming, the elf queen, there is a king in this deck. You didn't get it, but I feel like the queen coming through says that, there is a counterpart out there for you. And of course, we've already established that there's somebody waiting, not consciously, but there's somebody who energetically neither one of you is ready yet. Okay. It's not just you. And again, you're not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything wrong. Neither one of you is quite ready. And when you are, nothing will be able to keep you apart. Okay. So sovereignty, just really empowered. And she's so confident. And I love how, that's a pretty big crown, but it's also clearly not heavy. Like it's a very light, like you don't have to wear a heavy crown to find your sovereignty, to be the queen of your own energy. The crown should feel completely weightless on your head because it's who you are. Okay, you should not even really feel a crown on your head. So the next, guess what? More intimacy with the self. This is coming through as with yourself. Sorry, Virgo. You're not quite there yet. Like I wouldn't expect, and of course this is not for all of you. I don't want to get a message saying, you said I wasn't going to find love before the equinox. And guess what? I did. Well, chances are it's not a long-lasting relationship, but I'm not a love guru, okay? And I don't typically do love readings. And so this is coming through because this is just her. She's shown up in a lot of the readings this month, by the way. A lot of us are being asked to really get to know ourselves better on a super duper intimate level. Okay. Really, really intimate level. And look how golden and beautiful. She looks like a golden statue. Like that is source energy, pure and simple. That is just us embodying more of this amazing energy that is us. We are made of the same energy as everything else. Like everything is just energy flowing, and we're just vibrating at different levels to make different densities. And it's all an illusion, you guys. But it's, this golden coming through is just showing that you getting to know yourself even more, you going in even deeper and digging even deeper. And I feel like you're going to be like kind of hungry for more healing after you realize that you are powerful enough to tackle a fear that maybe you've had for a long time. And then you realize that you actually have made a lot of progress in that area. Like, oh, I'm not nearly as afraid. You might have still some. I still have some. I still fall into it a little bit sometimes, right? But you might still have some, but you're going to realize, one day here early in September, you're going to go, holy shit, I really did do a lot of work. I'm so proud of myself. And so then the next thing's going to come in, this kind of message to go even deeper in. And I feel like you're going to be like, ooh, yeah, let's do this. Like it's going to be like you're going to be very motivated to do it. Okay. And that's beautiful because you want to, but this is basically what you'll look like not all of you, obviously, women and men, you're all going to look like this. When your soul is embodying all of your auric field, like every part of you, they say, that our souls are so big, right? They're so big, and we can only fit some of it, whatever visualization you want to use. Some people say, oh, the soul's, it expands. Some people say the soul comes in more. It just doesn't even matter. But what this is you embodying more of it, integrating more of it, being more of your soul. Okay. And it's, we are never not our souls, but we can have so much heavy stuff on top of it that we're crushing it, right? And it can't breathe, and it can't shine, and it can't come through, and it can't guide us, and it can't, help us live our lives on a day-to-day basis. And we forget that we are souls having a human experience, not human beings with a soul, okay? We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spirits having a human experience, because the spirit is what is immortal within us, right? So then your last card up here at the top right is another 5. Okay, so you got 2 5s. Big change, you guys. You're not done, anywhere near done yet. This is the Hedge Witch, Herb Wisdom Secrets Hidden Lore. I love how this is very black, because I do feel like you really digging deep into this intimacy is going to bring some shadow stuff up that maybe you've been avoiding. But again, I feel like look at her face. Like, she's not the shadow. I feel like she's you. And her face is like, fuck yeah, bring it on. Bring it on, universe. Like, I am really empowered, and I am really sovereign, and I'm feeling really good. And I want to get to this next level. And so I'm ready to face my shadows. I'm ready to face this. We can build up. I always tell my clients too, my one-on, I do, how many times am I going to say it? I do personal readings and healing sessions and all that jazz. All that information is in the description box below. But, I always tell my clients that, the darkness is never as scary as we have made it out to be. When it's a childhood wound, when it's a childhood trauma, and you have had 30, 40, 50 years to build it up in your mind, it becomes this demon in your energy that isn't really a demon. It's still this little thing, right? And so when you really tune in and get down into that place where you have locked away this trauma, you see that it's actually just a scared little creature. It's like, and it's no match for you. Like, all it wants is to be loved and accepted and welcomed back into your energy. You have locked it away in a room, and it's been kicking and screaming and yelling and throwing things for decades. And all it wants is for you to let it out. And it's not going to take over. It just wants to become part of your energy again. It wants to be loved. It wants to be welcomed back into the light. Okay, that's how you heal things. And so I do feel like kind of the middle of September, you're going to be healing. You've got, this big healing with the fear. You're being asked to really go inward. You're being asked to stop looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend and, fall in love with you, and you may feel like you're not doing a very good job of it. But I promise, if you set the intention to work on you and just, okay, I'm going to stop focusing on a significant other, and I'm going to work on me. That's all you have to say, and you will get there. Okay. You're going to get there anyway. It just might hurt a lot more if you don't, willingly, if you don't intentionally do it. And then, you've got this another shift kind of, right. This is going to be the last week of August-ish. Okay. Don't quote me, because everybody's going to be different. But this is a big change. This is a big shift in your personal energy. Okay. And it's a good thing, because everything's leading you toward expanding your heart chakra, really feeling love for the world, and love for your fellow human, and love for the planet you live on, and love for your life, and gratitude for your life. That you're here at all. Love for your heart is going to expand and give you love for the adventure that this life is. Okay. And then you've got this more tuning into yourself, right? And allowing your gifts to come through. And then guess what that's going to do? Bring you really renewed sovereignty. You're going to feel more sovereign, more empowered in your own energy and your own life than you ever have before. Okay. Again, this is into September. Okay. Ish. Everybody's different. And you're being asked to go even deeper inside your own energy. Okay. This is not intimacy with another person. It's just not coming through that way, Virgo. This is intimacy with the self. And again, I'm not talking about just touching yourself, although, feel free. Go for it. But it's intimacy with the self. It's really getting to know the raw, vulnerable you It's digging so deep that you actually find that diamond under all the mud, under all the crap. You're going to find that diamond. Okay. That's you. And then you've got another shift coming because you're actually going to do it. You're going to do so good that you get to shift again. And yeah, you're going to have shadows come up, but I feel like it's going to be empowering for you. Like it's going to be like, whoo, okay, I see a shadow. And we can dance with the devil, right? We can be friends with our shadows. We don't have to let them go necessarily right away when we confront them. Sometimes I'm telling you, and I tell people this all the time, as long as we have a physical existence, yes, illusion or not, as long as we have physical bodies, we need our shadow side. That's why our goal right now is to get to 50-50, right? To be 50 light, 50 dark. Okay, that's our goal. And then where we manifest, where we create is in the void between the two, right? So we're not, and then we can go back and forth as needed, right? And being in the shadow side does not mean committing crimes. It doesn't mean hurting people. It just means being a little more assertive or being a little, being able to stand up for ourselves, because the world is not going to transform overnight. You still need to kind of have your, for moms, we call it the mama bear energy, right? To defend our children, to protect our children, to keep our families safe. We go into mama bear mode. Okay. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that anytime soon, because the world, I have 4 kids and I want to be able to protect them as long as I can. The world is not transforming into utopia from one minute to the next. It just isn't. It's going to be a process. And like I said, that timeline right in front of us is the quickest way and the best way and the easiest way and the best, I already said best, but the best way. It's just lit up right now for me. And again, we can always still choose this other one. And if we do, then we need it. Okay. But I just don't see it happening. Right now, we're on track for this one right in front of us. Okay. That this whole stuff going on now, and you know what I'm talking about, is the event that is waking everybody up. We don't need another one. Okay, that's what this other timeline has, another one, and it's happening really soon. If we do shift over to that, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening at all. And so this shadow, work is going to just empower you even more. You're going to be like, hey, I like you. I like this dark side. I like this dark witch inside of me. Okay. And again, she's not evil. She's not bad. She's just, part of kind of the ego construct, right? And as long as we have physical bodies, we need an ego. We beat ourselves up for being human sometimes. Again, we are here to experience being human. And being human involves having an ego and being triggered and yes, we're healing a lot of it so that we're not unnecessarily triggered by everything, so that we can get on with our lives already and find our, and be able to raise this next generation growing up now and being born now, this next generation, being able to teach them to truly and wholly, without fear, follow their hearts from day one. We're done raising kids to I know you want to be a musician, but you better go to school for accounting so you have a fallback. We're not doing any of that shit anymore, right? We are raising, this new generation is unapologetically them. They are just coming in like gangbusters, a fire under their butts, and they know who they are. And, as the generation that I'm in, still raising kids, it's interesting because I have a 25-year-old and I have a 10-year-old. And so the way I parented the 25-year-old is, and I actually think I've been a pretty darn good parent overall. I have my flaws for sure and have my regrets that I try to heal, right? My guilt about things. But the way I parented my 25-year-old is nothing like I'm parenting my 10-year-old, nothing. So I have had to transition after 2 kids to raise my last 2 in the new energies. And so I now teach about that because I had to shift midstream, right? I had to shift, whereas new parents now are coming in and they get to be the new parents from the beginning. I had this kind of old, when I think about how I parented, our lives were totally different. We're unrecognizable now. And so, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And so it's just, there's a lot of change was my point, coming up for everybody. And, your overall energy was just trust that, You know, that all this magic that you're seeing, not just in the world, the good stuff that you're seeing in the world, or maybe you're starting to see like just little flickers of light out of the corner of your eye. And then when you look, there's nothing there. You're starting to see the magic return. Okay. And it's amazing. And then you're going to start to see your own magic coming to the surface. And you're going to be like, whoa, what just happened? Like, how did I just, and you know, things like we've all had things happen like, oh, you think about somebody and then they call you or text you, right? Or they show up at your door right after you thought about them. Or you see something you've never heard of before. And then like 3 more times that day or the next few days, you're seeing it over and over and over again. You're like, I've never heard of this before. Why am I seeing it 1,000 times? These things are going to start happening on a daily basis. And that's going to be the magic you're going to start seeing. And when you recognize it, when you acknowledge it, you will keep seeing it. And that is going to bring your gifts forward, okay? Because that's part of the ascension process, is acknowledging, okay, this is not just a coincidence. Something is going on here, and I want more of it. Okay, then you're asking the universe for more of it, and it's going to start affecting your energy, and it's going to start opening you up, expanding your heart chakra, because you're going to start to believe in magic again, like we all did as kids, right? It's going to be amazing, Virgo. I hope your story makes sense. Again, you have a lot of red. So there's just a lot of things being burned away, a lot of healing coming. Don't be afraid of it, okay? You are this sovereign being, okay? You are the king, you are the queen of your energy. And this is your anchor, your heart and soul, okay? And Virgo, that's who you are, right? You're very compassionate, you're very beautiful, you know, loving, giving human beings as Virgos anyway. So what I want to do is pull one final message from your guides. And then I'm going to pull a message from the universe from a different deck that I'm going to show you in a sec here. So give me a final message for Virgo, please, from their guides in their highest good always. Woo. All right. No. Yeah. And had look at this. Magdalene, more red, more divine feminine, more sovereign energy, more just healing. Okay. So this is just confirming that you have a lot of divine feminine healing coming. And this is healing, allowing you to be soft and gentle and loving and compassionate without being the doormat. Okay. You know, Mary Magdalene was Yeshua's divine counterpart. Together, they are the Christ consciousness. And she was not only written out of history, she was turned into a whore. That's what they did to her. Do you think she gives a shit? Nah, because we're all here now to do the job. And she's backing us up. She is an ascended master. So if you ever, want to really tune into kind of your fiery feminine side, right, which is, I always tell people fiery feminine, that is masculine energy coming through the feminine. That is a beautiful marriage of the two. That is a beautiful balance of the two. So tune into her because she has got it down to an art. With her divine counterpart, they've never been apart. Except for that one life they lived where he left and she stayed. She stayed actually for a long time. But since then, they have not been apart. They are the Christ consciousness coming through, and they are what you have agreed to help bring through into the world, the heart-centered living. A world that works for everybody, not just some people, not just most people, everybody. This is what you're bringing in. So talk to her as an ascended master. Mary Magdalene is coming through very strong as a guide for you. Okay, since I asked for a message from your guides, there she is. She's like, I'm here. Tell them to talk to me. Okay, so I apologize. This is an hour. I know I always apologize when I don't feel like I babble. This is a beautiful deck made by a good friend of mine and soul sister, Anthea Spark. The link to purchase it is below. She has other decks too. This is the Illuminate deck. It is beautiful. It has simple messages, and it is like recycled cardboard. It has just an amazing, soft, natural feel to it. If you do your own readings. So I highly recommend it. I'm going to try and get all of her decks eventually. So let's get one final message from the universe for Virgo in their highest good. Just give us something to wrap this all up on, and a feel-good message, something to confirm everything that's going on for Virgo in their highest good, please. I allow myself to receive love. Guess what this is? Not another person. I allow myself to receive love from myself. Love yourself. I know it's corny and I know it's ancient and everybody rolls their eyes, but the more you can love yourself, the sooner you're going to call this in. And who doesn't want this? And of course, the sign, you know, forget the genders there. If that doesn't float your boat, it does not matter. Just feel the intimacy here, the embrace, the divine embrace. Like, this is just beautiful. Everybody wants this. I get it. But you have to find this within first. Okay. Allow yourself to love yourself. There's a lot of self-worth being healed, a lot of self-worth, a lot of even self-loathing. If you have allowed yourself to be if you've allowed yourself to get really good at being a doormat, then you may have some self-loathing to heal. And that's going to be the shadows coming up. Okay. So some of these you're going to be able to heal, but you're going to be able to stand right in front of these shadows and go, okay, I don't need you anymore. So you can hang out, but I'm not going to pay any attention to you. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to let you go. Or you can even look at something and it'll come to you and you can say, no, I don't need you anymore. Okay. You're going to be that empowered. I promise. You're going to do this. And, you know, if you always, if you feel like you need help, reach out to somebody you know who is a healing practitioner, who does inner child healing, who does, I actually know Anthea, who made this deck, does inner child healing. So you can contact her through her website, which is linked below. Everybody knows somebody nowadays who does Reiki, who does past life regression, who does past life healing. Whatever you need, reach out to somebody, okay? There's never any shame in that. We all need each other, okay? Virgo, yours got way long. I apologize. I love you. Watch your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Like, share, subscribe. I will see you next month. You got this. You got this. We're all doing this together.